Good evening, everybody. It's Tiger here from RWB International. Welcome to Thursday night's mini league. As we're just in there, a little bit of a bust up there coming out of pits. Not quite sure what's going on there. Welcome to Thursday night's mini league. As usual, I've got Speed here with me. Hi, say hi, Speed.
Hi, Speed.
There he goes, our resident alien. Some say that he sleeps with his eyes open, and others say that if you jump up and down on one leg and go to bed by 9 o'clock, he'll appear by 10 at the side of your bed with a cup of cocoa. All we know is he's called Speed Demon. Great, where are we? Okay, so we're at Zhuhai. What the wonderful Zhuhai. We'll talk a little bit more about the track in a minute, but just to orientate ourselves now. So we're 4 minutes and 37 seconds left of qualifying. We've got 13 RWB members out there tonight for Thursday night's mini league. Remember, the whole point of the mini league is 5 tracks, 1 car, short qualifying and short races. These guys didn't know what the car was until they jumped in, and Speed's going to talk to you about the car in a minute. And they didn't know what circuits they were going round until they literally turn up. I can tell you in advance what those circuits are. This first circuit is Zhuhai, and towards the end of this race, I'll tell you what the circuit is that we're going to be moving on to. What's the whole idea of these Thursday night mini leagues? Get the guys together, have some short blasts, have some good fun in tracks they don't usually go around, in cars they probably wouldn't normally touch. Not the case for tonight, as you can see. And of course, to open the doors to other people who want to come and race clean and have good racing. Then of course the RWB doors are open. It's open all the time, but Thursday nights is when you can guarantee there'll be, a good amount of people to race with. So, without further ado, with only 3 minutes and 25 seconds left to qualifying, let me hand over to Speed, where he'll talk to you a little bit about the Audi TT RS VLN that you're looking at now. Speed.
Hello, guys. Welcome. First of all, it's good to be here on a Thursday night. It's blistering weather. I'll get on to talking about this lovely piece of German engineering, this Audi TT RS VLN, which is a 365 brake horsepower vehicle, which is 30 brake horsepower that is set to a push-to-pass system that they get to use in the race. As the VLN is a Northcliffe specific event type league where they run 9 races throughout the year, varying in length from 4 hours up to 24. There's a whole host of cars, and this Audi took part in 2010 and 11, and I think it won it in 2012. It is boasts an inline 5-litre engine as well, which is very rare nowadays. It is also front-wheel drive, which is a strange fact for an Audi. They're normally either a quattro 4-wheel drive or in rear-wheel drive spec. So there's a few facts about the cars tonight. I'll hand back to my commentator, see if he's got any facts for us about the track.
That's great, Speed. Thanks very much. Just trying to pop the track map up there, but I don't think the script's working for that. So Zhuhai International is down in Jingding, Zhuhai City, Guangdong Province. Don't ask me to say that again. 2.7 miles or about 4.3k around the whole circuit. It's a fantastic circuit and very well known. It's a very young circuit, actually. Very fast circuit, built in the early 90s. It hosts some of China's notorious national series, international GT events and so on. But really, in Asia, very, very famous for hosting the Asian Road Racing Championship, which is the superbike racing. And it's a superbike mecca, Zhuhai. Now, quite interestingly, in 2016, a bit of Malaysian finance came into the fore, and that enabled China and Malaysia to open up closer business relationships and develop the track. So around the track now, you've got some tourism traps, you've got some business sites, you've got some racing circuits and motorsport complexes, and they've put that under the analogy of bulldozing the walls, breaking down the barriers between Malaysia and China. So a really popular circuit, quite a long circuit, and very well known in China, and you know, a superbike mecca. So that's Zhuhai. So 17 runners tonight then for you, and we're just coming down now to finishing qualifying. I think we've got a couple of guests with us tonight. So Johnny Vasco, I believe, is crikey. Johnny Vasco, I was racing against him the other night. Johnny Vasco, it's not Footloose, is it? It's who is it? Speed. Footloose? It's not Footloose 420. He'll kill me later. I can't remember his name.
I don't know. I don't think I've raced with him.
As we see him line up on the main straight now, remembering that, of course, when all the cars are on the track, we'll see the timing board come up on the left-hand side, top left-hand side. "20 seconds left to get back on the track. If they don't get on the track in that time, then they start from the pits. Is that right, Speed?"
Yeah, they start from pits usually like a couple of minutes behind them.
All right, well, there we go then. Red lights on, 8-minute race, which is a perfect time to be able to really enjoy some good close racing. And they're away. And in first position there, we can see Audi. I was going to say, look at that, he's in an Audi TT RS VLN, but of course they all are, as they all go down hurtling towards the first corner. Nice and clean through there.
It's definitely in the green brigade in the middle of the pack there.
Yeah, in it just. Nice and clean though, some really, really good racing there.
Oh. I think that was Paddy got on the grass there and turned across the front of everyone.
Yeah, riding with Banksy. It looks like Banksy's gone off there with Banksy with Paddy behind it.
I think he's got to some of them. Tiger, they're a bit hot-headed at the minute into that second corner.
Yeah, most certainly.
That's just gave Audi a lovely 4-second lead of a Charger.
Yeah, Audi has extended away now in first position with Charger up in second position. It was really great for him because normally he's a sort of middle runner, steady sort of pace guy, isn't it? Will he hold that second position, do you think? Oh, who's taking the inside there? That's a good move there by Limpan, but not so as we see Pinpoint take third position there. Good for him.
Yeah, there's definitely some elbows out in this first race at the minute.
Isn't there just?
A bit of argy-bargy going on. I hope the guys calm down a bit. It's going to be a messy old night if it carries on like it is.
Yeah, this is a Thursday night friendly race, guys, as we see Limpan trying to take back his third position from Pinpoint on the inside there, but just not enough to be able to go defensive into that corner. But he does take him on the exit, so fair play to him as Pinpoint then goes back down into fourth position. Some really close racing there throughout the field. Who's that we just lost there? That was Pinpoint, wasn't it? No, that was Limpan. Limpan down into 15th.
It must be Pinpoint. Must have gone into the back of Limpan, obviously.
Yeah,
and gentleman thing, and waited up through.
Well, fair play to Pinpoint. That's a very good point of him. We've got a very simple mantra at RWB: race clean, race fair, race for position, respect other people, enjoy yourself. Pinpoint didn't need to pull over there and go all the way back down to 17th position and allowed Limpan to rejoin the pack in the position that he did, which was currently 14th. But you know what? That's gentlemanly racing. It doesn't mean to say you can't race hard, but if you do make a mistake, it is a race after all. Then the gentlemanly thing to do is to let that person rejoin the track wherever and in front of you. Something you're not going to see on open and public forums, public lobbies. On the wing with Gabsy then, currently in 3rd position. Gabsy, our other member of the commentary team for our main leagues. He's our trackside member who feeds us sort of intelligence throughout the whole of the pack, which of course you can clearly see is very useful when you're commentating over a 45-minute race or an hour race rather than an 8-minute race where me and Speed can just about cover it, I think.
Yeah, it's quite hard to get a lot of information into these short races.
Yeah, very much so.
Only 8 minutes.
Yeah, currently riding with Paddy, who's got Johnny Vasco behind him, only half a second, looking on the wing of Paddy now. You can see he's right there, hovering like an eagle, waiting for Paddy to make a mistake. Well, Johnny, you might be hanging around for a while because Paddy doesn't really make mistakes. Paddy is one of these guys that can pull out a super quick lap, and people will say, "Crikey, where did that come from?" So a very worthy opponent on the track, as they all are, to be frank.
Yeah, I've just remembered who that Johnny Vasco is, and it's Fearless 420.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Fearless 420.
Yeah, first I joined us back in the Project Cars 2 days, the early part of Project Cars 2.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Fearless. Sorry, Fearless, I called you Footloose earlier on, so you're now to be known as Footloose. So, riding with Footloose at the minute, as he just gives away that position to Evil. Riding on the wing of Evil, you can see Footloose there just behind him. He'll kill me later for calling him Footloose, but it's stuck now, I can't stop Speed.
Yeah, I also think Evil's on the VR headset this week. Obviously,
yeah,
purchased it from Jamie.
Yes, sorry, yeah, just flicked to Paddy there as Paddy and Gabsy, these two, best of mates in real life. Gabsy, how close can you get? But for some reason, Paddy just carried that more speed, didn't he, through the corner?
Yeah, I think that's reach around close. That's how
that is, yeah.
That's a new terminology. How close were you? Reach around close.
Charger doing really well and holding his 2nd position, but if there's one person you don't want behind you apart from you, Speed, who's a bit of an alien, and that's probably Paddy. Yes, a Scouser, yeah. Charger taking the defensive line coming into this corner here, but Paddy will go around the outside. I guarantee he'll carry. But behind them being Gabsy, don't discount Gabsy, because Gabsy will watch very closely these two try and battle for 2nd position, and before you know it, he'll just take him on the inside. Gabsy, my rally buddy, and I'll take the opportunity to say I'm far better than he is.
I won't be surprised if Paddy and Gabsy double team, shout across the room at each other. Let's get past this Charger. Let's.
Don't care which one of us get it, but one of us has got to get it. Not forgetting the rest of the track then. So with only 1 minute and 20 seconds left of this first of the 5 races of tonight, with Audi in front, who's our host for tonight, Charger in 2nd. No, Paddy, there he is. Crikey, we missed it. That's what happens when you have all green cars. But look at the extending away that Paddy's already done. So right on the wing of Charger, you're going to have Gabsy just hovering there. The Welshman living in Cheshire. If there's a dangerous mix, there it is. But Gabsy, you just pushed it that a little bit too far, didn't you? You're going to have to bring an A game to get past Charger. He's not going to give it to you. Very close racing across the field, guys. Pretty much from the so looking at some lap times now. Fastest lap at the minute is a 141.5. 141.5 is the fastest by Rigel, in cockpit with Rigel now, currently in 6th. 10 seconds left of the race then, and you can see there that Race clean, race fair, race for position, respect other people and enjoy yourself. Well look, if you don't race clean, in other words, stay on the grey stuff, you're going to come off the track or hit somebody, like whoever that is there. And if you hit somebody or come off the track, you're going to lose position pretty quickly. And when you're running a short race, if you lose position, then no matter how good you are, you're going to find it hard to climb that ladder. There's 17 people out there right now, and you can see some really talented, very quick racers out there. Gabsy, just a minute ago, was fighting for second. He's down now into 10th, 11th position, and not enough time for him to fight and climb back up the ladder. So the premise of the short races is race clean, qualify well, and hold your nerve.
Yeah, with these short races, qualifying is such a key. You may only get 1 or 2 laps in qualifying, depending on what, the track length. So it's really important, obviously, to be fast, but be, drive at something like 80% of what you can do, as the AI just go mental with these guys over the line.
Yeah, they've finished the race now, so yeah, stereotypical. Let's crash into everything, or some of the AI, as you say, taking over. Great. So that was our first race. So well done to Audi. Second place Paddy, and third place Evil. And you can see the remainder there. Very well done to everybody. 17 car. Not an easy car to race this around this track, as you heard earlier. A lot of horsepower, front wheel drive, unlike Audi, usually 4-wheel drive or certainly rear wheel drive with the Quattro system. But in this car for this series, it was front wheel drive and a real handful. Saying that though, once I did hold the record around Lakeview Hill Climb. Yes, speed, another fact for you. Not just was it the Zach speed, it was also the Audi TT RS VLN, until Race Room S3 Studios decided to reset it all.
Yeah, but wasn't there only 1 lap time on that? And that was you.
Yeah, alright, let's move on. Next track then. Next track is to the Slovakia Ring. Slovakia Ring in Slovak Republic of Slovakia, 2.3 miles or 3.7 kilometers. Multi-design circuit, this one. It has a host of possibilities of circuits. It can actually host up to about 12 different circuits, going all the way down to just under a mile. This particular circuit, the national circuit, accommodates various different car classes, cars, bikes. It also races trucks around here as well, actually, but mostly bikes, it has to be said. Built over stages over a couple of years, since 2010. You can pretty much go to the Slovakia Ring on a boys' weekend speed. You can book into the hotel, which is cheap, a bit like a hostel. You can go around in a race taxi, have a bit of a lecture and a few laps in the driving academy, and then you can then race the rest of the weekend if you've got the money and insurance cover. So it's not a track day with your Audi A3. This is a get a plane, get a train, get there, pay some money and enjoy yourself. And if you crash a car, well, you'll pay an excess and that'll be done. And interestingly enough, Finns and Swedes are generally well known for their ability to put cars where they physically and physics say they shouldn't in rallying, whereas Slovakians are extremely well known for their ability on 2 wheels, particularly in the endurance events such as the old Paris-Dakar and now just known as the Dakar. So there you go, Slovakia Ring. Speed, do you want to jump in? Who's that there? John Haig, and go around and give us a drive round. Oh no, whoever's in front of him.
Who's in front of him? Is it? Riding
with Audi then. Over to you, Speed.
Alright, he was going to turn 1, a really fast entry, probably going down to third or fourth gear, tuck it in, just, track out to the apex, come up obviously brow the hill, pick your turning point, because it is usually a flat out right-hander. You just understeering, just trying to keep the car on track, and then you come up obviously brake, spot your braking marker, usually around the 50 board, slow it down for this double apex right-hander. You clip the first part, run wide in the middle, come back for the late apex, and then this is pretty much a straightforward left, right, kinks. But this one's you come around this corner, you've got spot that 50 board, you start braking, and obviously tuck it into this like ever tightening right-hander. you think you can get on the power, but he tightens up, you know, into this left-hander. Spot this 50 board as you're braking, because he's a really tight left-hander. Obviously, he's run wide. He's got into the gravel. You come out of here, you get to the right of the tracks. Another corner where you're spotting your apex, because it's another really fast, sometimes flat-out left-hander. Coming up over this crest, you're looking for your brake marker just after this, just before this 150, just before the 50 board. Sorry, head down to the first gear, and you're in the gravel.
Riding with Rigel. Carry on.
You come out this little flip-flop chicane type thing onto. I think this is the longest straight you get on this track. Going down here, you're spotting your brake mark. It's somewhere between the 150 board. It's really it's a tightening corner, so you come in and it's all constantly turning, wait for the gas. Finally get on the gas, then you just power out of here, flat out, come out of this kink, and just over the start finish line towards the pit exit, drift just ever so slightly slowly over to the left to get your entry into turn 1.
Great, that's marvellous speed, thanks very much. We'll stay with Rigel and we'll see what lap time he sets. Rigel is a very consistent, I'm looking at my sheet now, Rigel is a very consistent, fast sim racer with RWB. And you can pretty much always guarantee that he's going to be in a sort of top 5 of any sort of race that we run. Very well known in RWB and very good as well. I'm not sure whether this is his favourite car. I'm going to put you on the spot speed as one of our very talented sim racers and our resident alien. What sort of time would you get around here?
Well, I don't know, mate. I can't really pull a figure off my head. I can't really remember what. So I usually judge it off for what GT3 cars do. I just can't remember what last time I doing a GT3 car.
Yeah.
So
well, be interesting to see what Rigel does, because I'm willing to wager that it will be a marker for others to. Try and meet, essentially. As I said, you know, he's very fast and very consistent and very talented. It doesn't seem to matter what class of car he gets into. He does a bloody good job, basically, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a super consistent, super patient driver. He'll wait for you to make a mistake rather than push, going for a risky move type thing.
Yeah. Great. 14. We've got 14 out there now, so I don't know what's happened to the other 3. But you know what? Doesn't matter. That's the whole point of Thursday nights. Jump in or jump out. You don't have to do all 5. You can just turn up for 1 if you like. Yeah. So riding with John Hay, just about to go over the line. He does that lap in 2:10. Already pipped by Evil in 2:9. Eva and Audi pipping Rigel with a 2:10.3, so Rigel down into 3rd position, and the qualifying times now, gents, although you can just see them popping up now. 2:09 Evil, Audi 2:10.2, John Hay 2:10.3, Rigel. I think that's a guess there, Lazarenko.
Yeah, he just popped in Discord just before the mini league started, asking if he could join, and yeah, like we say, it's an open race night on Thursday. You can come and join us. Yeah,
and well, very much welcomes to Lazarenko, and enjoy your stay with us for tonight. I'd like to see I mean, I know the whole point of Thursday nights is short, fast qualifying. Fast, in qualifying, let's face it, you've got 5 minutes, you've probably got enough to go out, have a fast lap, a qualifying lap, and that's it. I'd like to see qualifying a little bit longer, if I'm honest, but I'm just the RWB cock, the chief of comms, the chief commentator, so I don't really get a say in that. But if I was a race director, I'd bump these timings up a bit more, probably up to about 7 minutes, perhaps. I think would allow you to have another fast lap, and not just one, as we come to the end of the qualifying. So there's the rundown there for you. Evil in first, just pipped Audi. and Rigel. Then Audi in second and Rigel in third place, as they now got 55 seconds to get on the track. So we've got Evil at the front there. Now let's talk about Evil a little bit. Evil, I found out the other night, races in pedals made out of wood and springs, and a steering wheel that is held together by bungees and plasticine. And yet this guy is just super consistent and super fast, isn't he? How does he do it?
I think he has a deal with the devil.
I think he prays to the devil. Evil, Resident Evil, is a devil worshipper. There it is. You've heard it here first. He prays to Satan. He must do to be able to do those times. What we're watching very closely on this. We've got auto director on. We'll put that on now. As we see the red lights flashing right now. Watch out for Evil. And they're away. Okay, let's hope they get away nice and cleanly. Someone moving out into the middle there. Not quite sure who that is. Quite a few of them. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, quite a few. 3, 4, and 5 wide. Some places. Evil there. Oh, and being taken by Audi on the inside. As Evil just goes off, but he loses traction, and and a couple of few offs there. That's a shame. Riding with Charger there, who managed to miss that. On the wing with Charger. On the wing with Audi. Aaron Staley, I believe, is a guest with us tonight. Aaron, welcome. Looking back at the rest of the field, I think they all managed to get through speed.
Yeah, I think there was one or two that maybe got caught. I think FX was one of them that was the one that T-boned Evil as he came back across the track. So obviously, not the look that neither of them two were looking for.
Yeah, and Audi is now back in 10th position behind Banksy. We're riding with Banksy at the minute. Banksy again, another super. I mean, I almost challenge anybody out there. Have a drag race with with Banksy. Choose a car, choose a setup, default, whatever, and see if you get off the line quicker than this fella. He's got a foot as if it's made out of hydraulic pump systems and biomechanics or something. He's incredibly quick off the off. Changes gear quicker than anybody. Fully manual, this guy, and very talented, and one of the real fast racers with RWB. But you know what? Him down in 8th position, that's an unusual place for to see him be. But all it takes in these short races is just a quick knock, and that's it. You're back down there. So good luck, Banksy, with the rest of the race. And yeah, good luck to you.
Yeah, it looks like with the guest for tonight's leading the race. He's got a 6/10 lead over Rigel at the minute.
Yeah, so Rigel right behind him, half a second, and Rick Binnersley behind him, and Charger half a second behind Rick Binnersley. Of course, our Resident Evil down to 10th, and you saw what happened there when they came into turn 1. And it just went wide there, and with these front-wheel drives, so much power, 360 horsepower front-wheel drive. As we see Rigel there, you know, hanging out of the back, all over Lazarenko, like Boris Johnson was all over Corbyn today in the Houses of Parliament. Rigel will take every opportunity to take that away from Lazarenko, but as an unknown, you know, fair play to Lazarenko, very welcome this evening, and you know, we're watching very closely here. But be careful, you've got an RWB top man behind you.
Yeah, it looks like we've had a couple of people pull out due to the temperature. Paddy's pulled out due to the temperature causing him a migraine. You know, with having the VR headset on and it being really close to his face in this hot weather. I think Pinners has pulled out due to his internet going down. I think.
Well, that's a shame to them too. Never mind. As we see the pack there, the field just streaming through that chicane. Let's looking very closely at the timings here, guys, but of course with only an 8-minute race, it's a fair assessment that even after a bash, timings are pretty tight. As we're looking at Banksy and Vasco, our Footloose, Banksy and Footloose fighting it out with, you know, Banksy only 0.2 of a second. Oh, and there's a little bit of a knock there. Unusually, and it was someone hit Banksy there. Who was that? Who at Banksy speed?
Johnny, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. You know, these things happen. This is racing, and sometimes there are these little knocks and so forth. But of course, the mantra of racing clean, fair for position, always is always in the foremost. As we see Banksy there, just looking at the inside, and just seeing whether he could just take that position. I think he is just taking it from FX. Banksy now up into 9th position. I think it was Aaron he took that from. On the wing with Evil that we saw back down into 10th position, somehow, amazingly, through his devil worship, he's gone from 10th up to 5th. And riding in the cockpit with Evil, he's got 3.9 seconds to catch up Gabsy. Well, I'll tell you now, Evil, devil worship or not, you will not catch that man in the time left. 2 minutes 53 seconds. In fact, you've got someone on your wing, which is Audi. Well, that's always a dangerous thing to see because there goes Audi. Takes Evil, and Audi up into 5th position. So well done to Audi. But Evil on the inside of this corner just takes it back, has a bit of a switchback. Can he hold it for this next corner? I think he just has. Audi's just held it. But this is a big sweeper, this one. But Audi's got the speed, hasn't he?
Someone in the gravel in front of him.
Really? Audi just got the speed there, yeah. Very close, this group of 5.
I was going to say never say never give up, because what happened last week in the Saturday race where Evil was lying third with, you know, a 10-second gap up to the 2 people in front of him, and obviously them 2 had incidents and he ended up winning the race. So you never say never.
No, indeed. And as we look at Gabsy in 10th position, who I've just, you know, challenged. Who was it I challenged? It was, I think it was Evil. You know, there's no way you're going to catch Gabsy, unless of course Gabsy comes off and decides to go rallying, which of course he loves, but not as good as me. He is, but I'm going to say it anyway. And so, of course, Gabsy's now back in, what, 10th position, with, you know, an FX looking at him to see whether he can maybe sneak up a bit of time on him. I don't think he can. I don't think he will. There's an interestingly a little battle up at the front there, or with these guys here in 9th, 8th, which is Aaron Staley and Rick Binnersley.
Yeah, we just started the last lap as well, so obviously they're going to be, you know, trying to get the next position in front of them if they can, if they got the gap on them.
Yeah, and we're going to have to stay with these 2 because no one else is closer with a position that's more important than these 2 right now. With Rigel flying the RWB colours, and with all respect to our guest, is he going to bring it home for RWB, or is Lazarenko, our visitor friend this evening, going to whip Rigel in the time remaining? I think he may well do, and fair play. Excellent stuff.
Buffalo girl him round the outside, and that right-hander there.
Yeah. Because that's the trouble with these 8, well, I say trouble, I mean, there's far more pros for 8-minute races than there are for not having 8-minute races. But of course, with 8-minute races, the positions are changing fairly rapidly. And as we've seen Gabsy go from 3rd down to 10th, and currently in 9th. We saw Evil leading, going down to 10th, and then back up to where he is right now into 4th position. So lots of changes there. As we just see Rigel there, can he take? He's got the inside onto this chicane, surely onto this onto these S's. And it's a drag race now. It's a
drag race down to the last corner.
0.1 of a second between these 2. But Rigel's got the inside. He's got the outside. Sorry, he's got the outside. Lazarenko on the inside. Lazarenko's got the inside.
And keep it on his outside. You know, quarter wheel in there. He's got that left hander onto the actual straight. So obviously he's gonna get the drag to the line. Oh, it's close.
And he just got him. He just got him. Lazarenko wins the race at. Where are we? Slovakia Ring. He wins the race at Slovakia Ring.
It must have been a Rizzler paper between them.
It was, yeah, 0.2 of a second it said, but very well done. Well done to Lazarenko, well done to Rigel and to Charger in third position. Evil finishes in fourth position with Rick Binnersley in fifth, Cos in sixth. Well done, Cos, good show. Banksy up into eighth, Aaron Staley into ninth, Audi into 10th. Such a shame, backwards and forwards there, Audi. 10th, Gabsy, crikey, this isn't a rally car, buddy, flick a switch, but well done. FX into 11th. Love to have seen him a little bit higher. I think he deserved that. Johnny Vasco, Footloose 420. He'll beat me up later for that. Sorry. It's not Footloose, is it? What is it?
Fearless.
Fearless. No, Footloose is better. Footloose 420 from now on. Taz in 13th and Limpan in 14th. And of course, we lost a couple of races.
Yeah, you see that gap between first and second is 0.021.
0.021.
Very close.
2/100ths of a second. 2/10ths of a second, sorry. 2/10ths of a second. That's absolutely fantastic. Wonderful. Excellent. So that concludes race 2. Race 3. Guess where we're going? We're going over to Japan. And we're going to have a zip around Suzuka. Namely
going to Ibiza.
Yeah. Yeah, Suzuka. This is the East Course, 1.4k, about 2.2 miles, fairly sweeping circuit, built in the 60s, Honda owned. And we're on the small circuit with the International Size Circuit, which is very well known. Of course it is for Formula 1 throughout the years, which is 5.8 miles. Very big circuit. You like this circuit as well, Speed, don't you?
Yeah, it's one of them old classic nostalgia tracks.
Well, they're in, of course, Suzuka is very well known for the fun fair. As we see, oi, come on, guys! This is the East Circuit. They thought they were on the big circuit. The Suzuka is very well known. Isn't it well known for the old? For those people who aren't sim racers or motorsport enthusiasts, but there you go. That's what it's famous for. It's famous for that monstrosity, part of the theme park in the middle of the circuit.
Also hosting the Suzuka 8-hour motorcycle race this weekend.
Is it really? This weekend?
Yes.
Well, only 2 seconds left of practice, so hopefully we'll zip into qualifying, and you can take us around on a track of on a quick flying lap through Suzuka East Course. Now, I'm assuming it hasn't changed to the next session yet because we've got people that are still joining, perhaps. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, Speed.
Yeah, I think it's just people joining. Obviously, we dropped down to 13 people, so obviously some people just backing out and obviously not remembering it's the mini league.
Okay, riding with Audi. So take us around.
Yeah, so you're going down to this turn 1-2 complex. So you're braking from max speed, obviously carrying as much speed through the first part, ever so slightly on the brakes, braking harder into the second part, then coming into this left, right complex of corners. You get really confusing sometimes, where you just literally just fast, just flowing, left to the track, right to the track, left to the track. So you come into this left-hander usually where you go straight on, but you got to go straight, sharp right, come round here, and then you back around, long right-hander. I think it might be a parabolica, that one, then onto the straight.
What's a parabolica, Speed?
Continuous radius corner.
It is a continuous radius corner. It's not actually a parabolica because it's a cut. There's a cut on entry. So, no, I'm afraid not, old chap. There's no parabolica on this circuit, not for this particular one. But bloody well done for getting in there anyway. Up to 14 racers we are now. Pinpoint's rejoined us, who's obviously not having a brain hemorrhage as a result of that thing strapped to his head. What have we got? 4.5 minutes left of this session. So after this we've got 2 more tracks left. and then what we're going to do is we're going to draw a random number, 2 random numbers. The first random number will be a joker, and that will give someone of the field tonight more points for wherever they finish. I think Speed can talk to you about that later on. And another number will get pulled out, and that will be a random number, and we'll pull that person into the chat and give them a little post-race commentary. They don't know who that is either. If there's anyone watching the stream, then we'll probably ask you to mention the first number that comes to your head. Just chuck it in the chat there. I'm not sure. Have we got anyone watching the stream? And even if there isn't, it doesn't matter. But if we have,
Yeah, we've got TK, Rodders, Paddy. That's it at the minute. Oh, flat 9.
great, wonderful.
Flat 9.
Wonderful. Well, to you guys there, we'll be coming to you to help Speed later on with a random number, and that random number is the person we'll pull into the chat. They know nothing about that, by the way. We just literally pull them in and say, congratulations, you're our millionth winner for using the toilet. Come talk to us. 3 minutes left of qualifying to go. And what is the current situation? Well, you've just seen it right there. Rigel, John Haig, has just nipped into pole position with a 51.8. 51.8 going all the way down to Dave Crew with a 56.2. So a 5 second gap between first and currently 10th. Why is that, Speed? Why is there such a large gap for a relatively small course in your view?
I think it's just generally people making a mistake into that last, not getting the cut right through to the, start finish straight. Obviously, it's quite a blind crest, and obviously it's quite tight as well. So I think some people are just running wide, dirty the lap, and then obviously, being extra cautious with it next time, and it's just a Constantini effect. Yeah,
and I think we should stress again that this is not a serious league. What you're watching here, every Thursday is different. We've had races in NSUs, we've had races in old BMWs, we've had races in cars actually you wouldn't buy on the store because they don't even look nice. You don't even look nice, let alone race them. And that is the joy, to be frank, of Thursday evenings. Gets you all together. The rules are slightly lax in that if there's a bit of an off or whatever, there isn't going to be any petitions. It's not that harsh. Crikey, everyone makes mistakes, and this is where you ultimately end up training yourself to become faster. If you want to become faster in the sim racing world, you have to race with people who are fast, and by osmosis you will get better. There are some very talented racers out there, and I can rest assured that if you give them the time by turning up and engaging, then you'll learn a great deal, and a fantastic bunch of fellas as well, it has to be said. So a minute left. Rigel in first position with 51, so currently in pole, with Evil in second. Really looking for good things from Evil from this one, but as we've seen, you only need one off, and that's it in a short race. Gabsy, good to see him up there in third, and there's well in advance, by the way. There's still 45 seconds to go, but that gives you an idea of what the current standings are. They could change because there's 45 seconds to go. They could change, so yeah.
Yeah, there's still a couple of seconds covering the field. Obviously, some people are more experienced of this track. It is quite irregular sometimes. It's been quite irregular in the mini league for the last couple of events. This little Suzuka layout.
Yeah, I think no, sorry, go on. I cut across you.
I was just going to say the veterans have probably got a bit more experience than this track versus the new people to this format.
Yeah, for sure. But it makes no odds, because the whole point, isn't it, of these Thursday night events is to have a different car, different tracks you wouldn't normally go on, invite people along. It's an open door. Come along. If you don't want to talk to us in Discord, that's fine. Just jump in the channel so at least you can hear what people are saying. Yeah, as we now watch them getting on the circuit, 45 seconds to go. This is their time for their last cup of tea, quick toilet, or not. 13 races then, 8 minutes. I'm going to be looking at Evil for this one. I think Evil's going to do well around here, but you can't take it away from Rigel. He's super quick, isn't he?
Is it just me, or was them cars on the right hand side of our screen pointed a bit aggressively towards the left hand side of the track? Like they
Yeah,
sat at a bit of an angle, like I'm going for
yeah,
it.
yeah. It doesn't look right, does it? Not sure what's going on there. Shout out to all of you in the live stream. Shout out to Rodders, Pedality, and everyone else that's there. So thanks for joining us as we watch this third race now. As Rigel maintains first position.
Yeah, just like someone at the back just got on the grass on the entry to turn one there. Looks like is it Aaron? It's dropped all the way to the back, like just touched the
Yeah,
grass on entry into
Aaron
turn one there.
Staley. Yeah, yeah, Aaron Staley.
Yeah, I think this race is just going to be a line of stern race. It's just going to be whoever makes the mistake first, he's going to lose.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah. On the back of the wing with Evil, we can see there's a long train there. It's a fast circuit, this, isn't it? Although it's a small circuit, it's a fast one as a result of that very long straight, which is pretty much, is it not, the whole of the main straight for the whole of the international circuit. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, it equals what this little squiggly bit is. So you're pretty much doing the same distance, but you're going this twice as fast.
Yeah. Riding with Gabsy, currently in third position, and we're looking at Evil there on the tail of Rigel. As Gabsy just goes a little bit wide there, be careful, front wheel drive, 360 horsepower, that'll just, you'll just spin round. So keep it calm, Gabsy, enjoy it, and defend well, but be warned, Banksy is behind you, and he takes no bloody prisoners, this fella. Very, very talented. As we see Banksy sliding that RS VLN into that corner. Very difficult to know where to look at as we then go back to our guest tonight, the lovely Lazarenko. What a beautiful name that is. Not sure where that is. I think that's Ukrainian, I think. But Lazarenko, as we saw, fantastic sim racer and held his own on the last race. So again, welcome to him. Very well done for holding your nerve against Rigel there. Good show. Into our Norwegian friend, our Audi, currently in 6th position. We can see the run of the field there with Rigel and Evil having their own little battle at the front. We're keeping an eye on the times there, guys, so fear not there. But Audi currently in 6th position. Looking behind from Audi, you can see there's a nice bit of no man's land. Because behind Audi is Charger, 2.75 seconds in that green RS, and behind him Rick Binnisley.
Oh, we also have to note tonight Charger's on his new Viscaro rig with his motion setup, so he'll be getting chucked around the live or chucked around his shed, should we say?
Indeed, yeah, fantastic. It never ceases to amaze me the amount of money that sim racers will put into this wonderful hobby of ours, but don't ever let that stop you from giving this a go. That's my advice. Whether you've just got an old cheap steering wheel you've picked up from eBay for 100 quid with a set of pedals, or whether that versus thousands and thousands of pounds for some sim racing kit out there. That doesn't make you any faster. It makes you more consistent and gives you a better immersive feel. But I don't believe better kit makes you an automatically, much quicker sim racer. That's not my view. What's your view, Speed?
Yeah, I'm the same thing. That obviously, if you're quick initially, you're gonna be quick on no matter what you race on. It's just a matter of fact that better equipment makes you more consistent. So it's giving you the feedback you want more consistently.
Yep, exactly. So don't let any of that put you off. If you're thinking about given this a bash and you've got hold of a steering wheel and a cheap set of pedals, and you're not quite sure how to go about it, you're not quite sure whether you should jump into a public lobby, crikey, be careful. It will not be pleasant. But you actually want to learn from people that have been doing this for a while and extremely talented, is my view, and I'm maybe a little bit biased. I'm not being biased, actually, they bloody well are. I thought I was quick till I came to RWB, crikey. Then this is definitely a place for you. You know, come along. Don't not do it, is my advice to you. Just going back down the field to 9th position there, Speaks. I think it's important to give these guys a bit of a shout here. They have their own battle. That's the great thing about sim racing. Battles don't just happen in 1st, 2nd and 3rd. You know, we're seeing Dave Crew here fighting to secure 9th position from Cos in the time that's left, which of course is only 2.5 minutes. So these guys here, RWB Cos, Dave Crew, Aaron Staley, our guest tonight, and FX, these 4 here, make no mistake, they're fighting as hard as if they were in the top 2. Going back to the top group now. Currently on the wing with Gabsy, looking back at Banksy and of course our guest Lazarenko, but I don't think we can really, well, I think now that we've done that, pretty much gone through the field, I think we should pretty much stay with these 2. Rigel and Evil. Rigel got the bit between the teeth from just being nipped at the post by Lazarenko on race 2, sorry. He really wants this win, doesn't he?
Yeah, with Audi getting the win in the first race and obviously Lazarenko getting the second, I think Rigel wants the third. I don't think Evil's going to give it to. I think Evil's going to pressure him in this last couple of laps.
And do you think that Evil is the sort of guy that will look at the time and look at the risks of him chasing for that first position and actually think of the distance that he's got to Gabsy, which is 2.9, and just stay hanging out the back of him here like an old thread, and secure 2nd position for the points for the mini-league, do you think?
I think he's just going to pressure him. Obviously, if he makes a mistake and drops back,
he's faster, speed down there.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do a move to nothing type thing, a lunge type. If he gets the opportunity to get past, and it's a fair, clean move, I think he'll take it. But I don't think he's going to do anything stupid in these last couple of corners.
Yeah, I think you're right. A bit of no man's land.
Anyway.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is that these are such great races that even with 20 seconds left, I mean, he's still having a good go, isn't he? He wants that first position. But I'm afraid, Evil, devil worship or not, you're gonna have to bring a AAA game, I think, to get past Rigel down here. But saying that, commentator's curse. He's faster down there than Rigel, no question. As we see the time frame go from 0.25 to 0.21 down there, so clearly he was much faster.
Yeah, with this particular track being this particular start of this track being so one line, because literally going from apex curve to apex curve to apex curve, you're not really hard braking. Even into turn 1, you're not hard braking because you've got a double right-hander. So it's very difficult to get past. You usually have a mistake to get past. Yeah.
And I think it's important to mention as well that all the cars are default setups. I think the only thing that they can adjust is brake bias, I believe. I'm not sure if there's traction. Oh, what happened to Evil there? What happened?
That's the end of the race. That was the AI.
God, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Let's go the Fabulence. Tigers had an heart attack.
God, unbelievable. Cool. Very well done, Evil. I did tell you, devil worship or not, you had to bring a AAA game, and there's no way that was going to. Very well done to Rigel, John Haig, 1st position. Evil there in 2nd, Gabsy 3rd. Well done, Gabsy. Banksy in 4th. Excellent race by Banksy. Lazarenko in 5th, our guest. Well done to him again. Audi in 5th. Charger 6th. Rick Binnersley 7th. Currently Aaron Staley in 9th. Cos in 10th. FX 11th. and Dave Crew in 12th, Pinpoint 13th, and Taz in 14th. Excellent, a nice little short race, zip around the Suzuka East Course.
Yeah, I just want to say hello to Little Links that's posted in the Discord chat, the YouTube.
Oh, Little Lynx. Now, I should explain, obviously, if he's a lynx and I'm a tiger, clearly he's related. That's my youngest boy there, who was very curious of what Daddy was doing, staring, talking to some screens. So I sent him off with a flea in his ear and with his mobile phone, and bless his heart, he's sitting there watching it. He loves it. So, hello, Little Lynx. Okay, then, as we now transition into the fourth race, I believe, which is at, where is it, Speed? Nürburgring, the short circuit. Do we need to say anything about Nürburgring that none of us are aware of? Well, this is the short circuit, so most of you will be aware with this. It's where the cut prevents you from going up into the hill. Very well known Nürburgring, has been going since 1927, has hosted pretty much every single high profile international race series you can imagine has been on Nürburgring, particularly European. Very well, pretty much the home of the DTM series. Nürburgring, personally for me, I love to hate it, but it's one of those tracks you either love or hate, I think, but very well known. Speed, I don't know whether we've got time for you to jump. Yeah, we haven't, have we? We've got 30 seconds of practice here.
Yeah, we'll get someone in the the Lexit pits. Maybe we'll jump on board with Evil. He's usually one of the first out of the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, Nürburgring. Yeah. Fantastic circuit. Like I said, you either love to hate it. As we see Evil getting out of shape and going off of the track there, pushing a little bit hard, obviously was slipstreaming with Gabsy there, and just lost a bit of downforce. Undoubtedly, that's what happened there. So let's have a track orientation.
Yes, coming down to turn one, usually you're braking just at that 100 board, getting down to first gear, aiming for that marker on the apex there, without hitting it. Come back across to the right hand side into this left hander, clip the apex as late as possible. She'll just wash out due to the understeer. Try and brake in a straight line pointing towards the apex for this corner. Hook it up, keep it tight so you can get a nice run out of this right hander onto this little bit of straight. But this is where we're doing the short course, so the braking mark is this bridge down to second gear or first gear depending on the gearing. Hug the apex, get on the power as early as possible, come out of here, usually brake to that 100 board, this corner, nice little, it's like a third gear, sweep into it, you hold third, you're understeering, waiting for the late apex, get on the power, crack out to that corner, just simple and hard, just flat out, the little steering input as possible to come through this flat right-hander. Now you're spotting your braking point for this chicane, usually the 100 board. Oh no, it's a fast chicane, sorry. So your fast chicane, it's usually like third, fourth gear really fast. This last corner, you just spot your braking point, aim for the pit wall, and then try and not hit it, and obviously track out and across the line.
Wonderful, thanks Speed. Excellent. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot again with timings. Oh, as we see Audi there just go straight on and decide to go and kiss the wall. On Evil then. Yeah.
I think it'll be like a 1:20 around here.
1:20. Okay. Alright then, 1:20. That's what we're looking at. If you're seeing some of these timings and you're thinking to yourself, crikey, it can go much faster than that, then, like I said, come along to our Thursday nights. Open to everybody. Doesn't matter what club you're part of, whether you're an independent, whether you're someone who's just starting out with whatever, come along and have some fun. Like I said, the important thing is that, you're not going to get someone that's just going to bash you off the track for the sake of it. And you can be sure that the people that are around you have got racecraft skills, and that is always so very nice. In fact, whenever I race with the RWB boys, you know, I'm more concerned about me than them, to be perfectly frank. But you know, as I said, you learn by osmosis. So come and try it. 15 cars back on the track now. So who's rejoined us? Because we lost Pinpoint, didn't we? He's now back with us. I don't think Paddy is. Oh, I think Limpan's joined us. Oh, good to see our fellow Swede, Limpan. Fellow Swede? I'm not Swedish, but of course Audi is. So good to see Limpan
He's
back
not
on the
even.
track. Limpan, why have I got an Audi? Why have I got a Swedish flag?
Limpan's Swedish, Audi's Norwegian.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I know. I just said that to get Audi. He'll watch this, I'm sure, next week or whatever, and get annoyed. Our friendly Norwegian.
Well, you could just call them all Scandinavian countries. You know,
absolutely.
that part of the world.
Yeah. Speed. 2 minutes left of qualifying. Quickest so far is a 1:29.6, which was Rigel. Going down to Dave Crew, running a 1:33.84. Why is that? Because Dave Crew is again one of these consistently fast, reliable racers. He's the sort of guy, if I was doing an endurance event for 24 hours, I'd want him in the seat somewhere. Why is Dave only doing a 1:33?
I think obviously Rigel's really good at jumping in the car, being on the pace, and I think Dave's the person that needs to get comfortable with the car before he can start pushing it. There's nothing bad against him. It's just some people have the ability to jump in and be on the pace straight away. And obviously, some other people jump in a car and track and need time to gel.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Banksy currently running on an invalid time, but his best lap has been a 1:30.9. He's currently running in 5th position. So again, Banksy, like I said, super quick gear change, all manual, and if the sim supports it, he absolutely exploits that and those physics. And I have to say, I was a naysayer at first. It works. So he's not the only one out there doing it manually, of course not, but it's just his methodology is very, very quick, and he uses that to his advantage out there, I can assure you. Back onto Auto Director then, as we're now into the last part of qualifying. 20 seconds to go then before the 4th race at Nürburgring Short. 8 minutes before we then go on to our final race. Prizes for anyone in chat there if you can tell us where the final race is. So if you can guess where it is, then our final race, if you can guess where it is, then you may well get a prize. There's something else you've got to do for it, which is...
Without going onto the server and looking for it, Rodders.
Yeah. Yes, Rodders. You're not allowed to just jump on the server and see where it is. So you've got the rest of this race to have a think about it. Where do you think the next race will be? There'll be a prize. Cool. As we now got 45 seconds for them to have their last fag, cup of tea, walk the dog, kiss the wife goodbye, put the Hoover away, make sure their pedals are oiled, and get back on the track. 35 seconds.
It's not into Argos, Rodders. Please try again.
Please try again. Not into Argos, no. Very famous track.
It's part of the F1 calendar.
11 seconds left to go. Speed, on these events I always bring some motor racing trivia. When do you think the first motor racing event was?
1907.
Well, no, you're wrong, actually. You're thinking about Brooklands now, aren't you? They're away. They're away. We'll have to come back to it. Yeah, you are right. Brooklands 1907. We'll come back to that as Rigel was coming down to turn 1 and holding first position, but Audi's on the inside there with Evil in 3rd. these three, as it looks like Evil is going to take had the better inside line from Audi. Riding with Banksy, as he's got a good view of those three in front of him, but of course, you know, at this stage, you know, they're so very tightly lined up. It's hard to get a good view.
Yeah, Charger's just posting YouTube chat saying his game's frozen and the missus had locked him in the shed
Oh
whilst he's
dear.
thirsting for a pee.
So as we said, just seen, I think that was Aaron Staley just go off in the green RS VLN there. Charger, the owner of a brand new, might as well be to him, but beautiful Vasario setup, motion rig, triple screens, you name it. Poor guy's had to take the sides off the shed to get it in. And his wife is over the moon because she'll never have to speak to him again for at least 6 months. Oh, as we see, there's a bit of a doodah there. What's gone on there? Let's see that now. That's Evil, I think. No, it's in cockpit with Evil, is now back down into 13th place. It was Evil and Audi. That's a shame. Evil and Audi. So you know what? We're going to leave Evil and Audi to crack on. Watch those positions, Evil and Audi, at 12th and 13th, because they won't be there for long. As watching these two, Banksy Kai and Lazarenko. Lazarenko already up to second position, fourth earlier on, and Banksy exploiting the opportunity, and he's now at third. Behind him, Pinpoint, well done Pinners, up to fourth position, with a bit of a space behind him as we're in the cockpit with Gabsy looking at Pinpoint. So you can see Gabsy there has got a bit of a no man's land to Pinpoint. Pinpoint's got that sort of space to breathe before he's got the Welsh Cheshire Scouser all over him, which Gabsy will every opportunity. Behind Gabsy, however, Rick Binnersley. Now, Rick, don't discount Rick. I've seen Rick in many races, and you know, he's had the last couple of races been pretty bloody awful actually, but that was the series. Very, very talented racer is Rick Binnersley. I believe Rick is a guest to RWB, I think. As I said, always nice to see him with us.
I think he goes under the name Bags on Discord. I think he joined us a couple of weeks ago. Officially applied to join the Losers Club.
Well done to him. Great to have you on board. As we're looking at FX now, who's up into 6th position. I said watch out for Evil and Audi. Currently they're in 12th and 13th, and they haven't made much difference. But as we say that, you know, Audi, Evil is, yeah, you can see there, look, they've got a way to go, and they've got 4 minutes to make their way through the field. And I don't think they will. We'll keep our eye on them, but we'll go back to the front. On the wing with the looking at Lazarenko and Banksy. Banksy on the outside there. Lazarenko holding his nerve and keeping the defensive line on the inside around that corner.
Yeah, it was some good side by side driving around that corner there.
But Banksy up into 2nd position, which is great news. So well done to Banksy. Banksy, I don't think you've raced with Lazarenko before, and clearly you can't hear me, but I can tell you now, do not rest on your laurels. Lazarenko will have a pop at every turn. He's a very talented sim racer. Great to have him with us. I've said that about a million times, sorry. But it's always so very nice when you open your doors, as we do all the time, but specifically on Thursday nights, and we see someone come along who performs like this. It's just wonderful to watch. These two now, look, I did tell you, Pinners, you're going to have to put your boot down to get past this guy and get away from him. Gabsy, looking at Gabsy now, and he is wiping the blood away from his jaw right now, as no matter how big a man Pinners is in real life, Gabsy wants a piece of him. There ain't nothing worse than an angry Welsh Scouser. That's detrimental. He's not an angry guy at all. He's a lovely guy. All these guys are. But they're out on the track. Now, why did he go wide there? What's happened to Pinpoint?
He got a slow down for turn 1. Obviously, he's just back
Oh
in.
no, he's pulled over. What's happened there? He's retired. Pinpoint has retired. Why on earth has that happened there, Speed?
I don't know. He got a slow down for turn 1, and obviously it popped up again saying he got a slow down in turn 3. Obviously, he must have just got frustrated and just decided to park the car. Or
Well, that's
unless
not
he's
good.
had an issue.
Well, I hope that was a. I'm sorry to say it, but I hope it was a hardware issue or the guy was overheating or whatever, because that was a fantastic race by him, and I know Gabsy will be disappointed that battle is now gone. But that said, I hope he's all right. Real life, I know he suffers particularly from the heat, and I know that he's in his flat burning. So I hope he's all right. FX up into 5th position, wonderful, and looking at the rear of Gabsy. Gabsy now got that bit of no man's land to Lazarenko, 4 seconds, so there's no way he's going to catch up in 1.5 minutes, is he? I think this is where the fight is. Speed is with Banksy and Lazarenko. As we're watching these two, Banksy in 2nd position, fought his way up. Rigel has pretty much won this unless he has an off. Banksy is fantastic, talented, I mentioned this earlier on. But there's one word I can't put in with the description of Banksy as a racer, and this is a commentary right to do this, so don't take this to heart if you watch this back later on, and that is race consistent. He is very consistent when it comes to speed and qualifying, but it seems that Banksy does falter when he's under pressure, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's easily flappable. That's the word I think you're looking for. If he's got someone right up his ass, like there.
Right there, look at that, look at that, look at that. I'm sorry, Banksy, I'm sorry for the commentator's curse, but I sort of knew it was going to happen. Banksy's such a lovely guy and so wonderfully talented as a sim racer. In my view, Banksy would do very well from our upcoming racing academies. Phobos, which concentrates on circuits and speed and time, and Titan, which concentrates on racecraft and consistency and continuity. And I really think Banksy will do very, very well on those, and will just give him the that's what I think he's missing, is the confidence to know that he's fast out there. Hold your nerve and hold your own. At the end of the race then, they're on the last circuit. We're riding with Rigel currently in 1st position. As we pop the track map up there, we can see that Rigel is just coming down to the fourth to last corner. You can see he's got some space there. There are Lazarenko and Gabsy. Right behind Gabsy there, FX. Right behind FX, 0.5 of a second, 0.4 of a second now, 0.3 of a second, Banksy. But one can't take it away from Rigel. We'll keep the camera on him as he takes the win as he comes around this corner.
Good race for Gandalf.
Absolutely, yeah. 1st position then, well done Rigel, takes 1st position. Lazarenko, our guest tonight, very well done again. Gabsy in 3rd position. Banksy, well done, 4th position, would love to have seen you in 5th. In 2nd, sorry. 5th position, FX, marvellous. Limpan and Evil. Evil, I did say, watch out for Edel and Audi. Dave Crew crosses in 9th. Audi in 10th. Cos in 11th. And our other guest, Aaron Staley, in 12th. And retired was Pinpoint, which is such a shame. 13th. Very well done. Did anybody guess the last place we're going to in chat? I don't think so.
No.
The next one is the full GP circuit of the infamous Hungaroring. So Speed, just as this transitions through now, that was a good race, excellent. We can just see there, so Aaron is with Rotec Racing, or is that a default for Race Room? I can't remember. I don't think, however, that MSC Sinzig EGVI ADAC was default for Rick Binnersley. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, there we go. Lazarenko from Team Pro Formula. Is that a race room default? I'm not sure actually.
I think if it's got a star next to it, it means someone's entered it.
Yeah, that's right. So, welcome to him from Team Pro Formula. So, earlier on you said about the first racetrack, 1907, Brooklands in Surrey. 2.75 miles, 4.43k. Yeah, it was the first organised race, but actually the first race recorded speed was in 1895 in the US, Chicago to Elviston, 54 miles and a two-cylinder, three-speed, top speed, 7.5 miles an hour car. There were 5 of them, and it took 10 hours. That was the first recorded race. So unfortunately, Brooklands was the first organised race, but the first recorded race in history was in the US in 1895. Right, we're at Hungaroring. What do we know about this circuit? Well, look, actually, it wasn't really until 1986 that the international world outside of the Iron Curtain realised what a bloody marvellous circuit this was, because it was held behind the Iron Curtain right up until 1986. Hosted pretty much again similar to Nürburgring, all the sort of top races and top events that you can list: GT3s, GTs, GTEs, GT1s, you name it, have raced around here, and of course Formula One. Speed. We've got 10 seconds to go before we go into qualifying, and then can you take us around and give us your thoughts on the track in general?
Yeah, I really like this track. It's a fun, quirky. It's not got a massive footprint. It's more of a twisty, windy, turn back on yourself. Fit as many corners into as little space as possible track. But really fun and interesting to drive.
Right, well, Speed, over to you. Exiting out the pits with Rigel.
Yeah, going out of the pits, usually when you're on the fast lap, you're braking in between the 150 and 100 both this tight first corner hairpin type thing. Try not to run wide and getting off track. Sticking to the right hand side, picking your braking markers just as you come to this curb on the right. Slow down, possibly first gear, second gear, trying to get the right car to rotate. Holding it left for this right hand kink. Get up on the curb, obviously pushing out to the apex on the outside. Just go up to probably one of the best, most blind corners in racing. You just chuck in and hope for the best that you don't cut the corner and you don't run too wide. And then you come into this tight right. It's not like a tight right hand, but it's more of a mid speed. Then you come into this chicane, brake at the curb in, get down to first gear, second gear, depending on your gear ratio, flip the curb, track out into this fast S-bend type thing where you just want to hold it so you're not pushing the understeer. Back out, get to across to the right so you get a straight entry into this left-hand corner, hold it to the left, through this fast right king sweeper, keeping it on track under this bridge, looking for your braking mark. There's the curbing, down to second gear, chuck it across the curb on the inside, you get a loader understeer on exit on that corner. This one is usually a second gear, try and hold the apex, keep that. It just feels like a never-ending corner, these last two. Come round into this one is usually high apex early, run wider, then pull it back for a late apex and a bit more straight, run onto the straight, come across the line, and that's a lap of the Hungaroring.
Wonderful, thank you very much, Speed. Interesting. People either love or loathe this track, don't they?
Yeah, it is I might say. Yeah, I think it's just people tend to don't like it because of it. It's got quite a good, it's got a lot of well, not such blind, but it's got really fast blind crest. I think some people really struggle with that type of faith driving because it's not can be put.
Yeah, it can be ruthless, can't it? And this is the full GP circuit, I believe, and that's 2. What have we got here on my info sheet here? 2.7 miles, 4.3k, and this particular circuit that we're going through has been in effect since 2003. So with only an 8-minute, only 8-minute race, and what sort of time would you imagine in these Audis around here, Speed, for this?
1 minute 50s.
Yeah, okay, 1 minute 50. It's interesting to see what we got there. I mean, we can see here, you know, we've only got 2.5 or 2 minutes 40 seconds left of qualifying. So you pretty much need, if you're going to qualify, you need to get out there quick, because you'll have one fast lap and you'll have pretty much one out lap, one fast lap really. Rigel currently the fastest through sector 1 and sector 2. Excuse me, sector 1 and sector 2. We've got 13 racers out there at the minute. So it'll be interesting to see what he does as he crosses the line speed on this 2.7 mile 14 corner track. What sort of time? Let's have a look. As he crosses the line, you're exactly right. As we see John Hay just get out of shape there. I'm sorry, Limpan just get out of shape. So 1:52.114 currently. 1:52.114. Rigel takes currently first position, but we've got so many out there that are running. Rick in 1:52.6, 1:52.9 for Gabsy, Limpan 1:53.2, Audi 1:53.5, Audi currently in 5th.
Yeah, well, we're pulling the random number generator for the Joker lap and also the random number for the person we dragged out to qualify. You know, in this race. So.
Yeah, or actually, you know what? The random number generator is relative to their positions at the end of the 4 races, isn't it? So actually, we could just ask chat to give us a number between 1 and whatever, couldn't we? That's random enough.
Yeah, for the person we can drag down. But obviously, we have a system for the points.
Or unless they actually want to, they want to hear, they want us to speak to somebody, then, well, let us know your thoughts. You know, you've got the chat there. Let us know what your thoughts are. Whether you want us just to pull a random guy down, random number, or whether we want, or whether you want to nominate someone that you want to hear from. Okay, so as I said earlier on, you've got the qualifying results board up there. There's 30 seconds left to go. That can change. Top 7 who have qualified there. And it ranges speed from 1:52.11 down to 1:55 dead by Dave Crew. But of course, Evil's still out there. And if there's one thing, and Banksy as well, and Charger. Charger, I'm willing to bet, will qualify middle pack. But Evil and Banksy, if they have clean laps, they'll be right up there as well, won't they?
Yes.
There he is. Evil just gone into second position, 1:52.5. Quite extraordinary when you consider the kit that he's on. He is just a banner waver for those of you out there with cheap, dare I say it, cheap first off kits for sim racing, because there's your evidence there that you don't need thousands of pounds to be fast. This guy is super fast, and he got his kit from Asda. 45 seconds then before they get onto the main straight. Actually, I think that timing disappears once they all appear, don't they? Doesn't it?
Yes. Yep, and I've got the random number for the Joker position. So as soon as I hit the green lights, I'll tell you what position it is. I guess the Joker this week, and obviously we can decide on what's happening with the person that we dragged down.
Great, excellent. Thank you, Speed. Don't forget that Joker is just extra points to anybody in the pack. That's what that Joker means. As we see the red lights then on the last race, race 5 of our mini league on Thursdays, as they're away. And John holds his first position there. Watch out for Edel on the inside, which is the perfect place to be going into turn 1. But Rigel has got a really good start, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's usually one of the best starters in the club. He always beats me off the line, and it really annoys me. It means I have to do extra work. I don't like doing extra work.
Yeah, fantastic. As they're coming into turn 5, sorry, which is a fairly sharp, and then downhill, sweeping righter to the fast turn 6 and up the hill. So Rigel's held his first position, 0.8 seconds behind him, Evil. Then we've got Gabsy, Audi, Binnersley, FX. Well done, FX. Let's ride with FX. He's got a front seat view. As we see that Beautiful stream of Audi. I love an Audi. I'm trying to get my wife to accept the fact that the Kia is not the way to go and she needs an Audi TT, just so that I can go down to Halfords and buy one of those wings. Anyway, so there we go. We've got that group of 4 there. Banksy Kai in front, and then in front of him, Rick Binnersley and Gabsy, and they're stuck to each other like super glue.
Yeah, so the Joker position for this week is 9th. So everyone that finished in 9th in the races gets the Joker, which is 30 points, to where the winner only gets 20 points.
Great, excellent, thank you. So, and that's a significant boost, isn't it? And that gives that randomised sort of chance for people to do well on the Thursday mini leagues. You don't have to turn up for every single mini league. You can just turn up and have one race if you want. And of course, there are some of our members here who are absolutely committed to doing every Thursday, every race, and it's important to them. Fair play. But the nuance is huge. Turn up and have one race and bugger off and never be seen here again if that's your wish, or actually turn up every night or every Thursday. That is. As we see Rick Binnersley there solidify his position and take the inside. And who's that he's messing around with there? It's Banksy, isn't it?
Here it is. Good 4-way scrap this position at the minute.
Yeah, very much so. Banksy not well placed there, though, it has to be said. But you know what? Just let Binnersley and Gabsy in front there. Oh, come on, Banksy. I so want this guy to win. I really do. But there we go. So, Banksy, Gabsy, and we're looking at Banksy now. They're all quite close, aren't they? And you see that trail behind, looking back from Gabsy, you've got Binnersley, Rick Binnersley, and behind Binnersley you've got Banksy. Behind Banksy you've got FX, excellent FX, but be careful because right behind you is Charger in that green Audi that we can see there. Behind Charger, I'd be worried, because you've got this guy here, Lazarenko from Pro Formula, who's already taken Charger. No, he hasn't, beg your pardon. And a little bit of a bang there. I think that was Charger. Was that Charger? No, that was Aaron and Koz. That's a shame, boys. But they're back down into 12th and 13th as we see Lazarenko now, who got in front of Charger and who's now he's got in front of Charger. Yeah, he's in front of Charger. But they're pretty much side by side, aren't they? So to be clear, we're looking at Lazarenko. The green Audi on the left-hand side is Charger. So I'm going to keep it on these two at the minute, although we've got John Haig, Rigel now into second position from Evil. Boys, I'm going to leave you. Take care, have a good race. These two here. Now look at these two here. This is with Rigel now, who's lost that position to Evil. And as I said, Evil, quite extraordinary the kit that he's racing on. And fair play to him. But, he's fairly close there. You've got to be very careful with your braking that you don't, you only need a little nudge. And front wheel drive, heavy engine in the front, and you're off. And with this amount of power, and have they got traction control speed?
I don't think so. Don't quote me on that.
But look where Evil is now. Perfectly placed, is he not? Perfectly placed to take. He's just got it there. Evil taking first place. I might be speaking out of turn because I was with him. He was already in first anyway. Calm down, Tiger. Calm down.
Yep. So we've had two numbers chucked out in chat. Rodgers chucked out 6, and Gronky 1 chucked out a 2. So, whichever you want to choose to bring down after I've done the results.
Well, Rodders is our glorious leader and one of our honchos on the RWB committee. And so I would say if he was here with me now that we would defer to our guest. So I think it should go to whoever's our guest that's nominated a number.
So we'll be bringing second place down after I've done the readout of the top 10.
Yeah. On to Audi. Audi currently in third place. He's got a 5-second no man land up to John Haig. We've just seen them go past there. But of course, right behind Audi is the ever-present and ever-indomitable Gabsy. You want to be careful when Gabsy's on you, because he'll take an opportunity. Look at that. What's happened there was he had pushed Audi that little bit too much, and Audi, overbraked himself and has lost 2 positions as a result of that. As we see Banksy wonderfully take the position away from Audi, and Rick Binnersley as well. So Audi lost 3 positions there by virtue of the fact he was under pressure from Gabsy, broke too late, went wide, gave the position to Gabsy, and let Rick Binnersley or Banksy Kai and Binnersley just slip on through there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think obviously Audi got slowed down for running wide, and obviously you take it as quickly as possible. So obviously you diminish your returns after that. The longer you wait, the harder it is to get rid of. So he took it pretty much straight away, which then dropped him, 2 or 3 more positions down from just like one error.
Yeah. Which is very unusual for Audi, I have to say, because Audi is very good under pressure, and he's not the sort of person that buckles. Certainly in the top 10% of, I'd say top 15% of races in RWB, he's a cool, calm, collected serial killer from Norway. Did I say that? I didn't mean serial killer. Wonderful guy from Norway, and a cool, calm, collected chap, as most Scandinavians are, unless you peeve them off and they've got a Viking helmet on and they've had 18 pints of beer in their eyeball. They're pretty calm, but he let himself get under pressure there, and in doing so gave away those positions. Riding with these 2, very important. Sorry to do a bit of a monologue here, Speed, but Evil and Rigel, I mean, they're 0.2 of a second behind each other. Rigel 0.2 of a second. They've been neck and neck, haven't they? Or tail and head.
Yeah, the last 3 races that it's just been Evil and Rigel show at the front. It's been very good to watch.
Yeah, and maybe actually, and this is maybe something for as they're coming up for the last lap. We'll put it onto the auto director so we make sure we capture them. But maybe this is something that we may well do in RWB, is our really fast, talented racers. Who knows? Maybe there might be a bit of ballast being dropped in there. But it's always nice to see their skill and ability out there in the front. And when you've got a long circuit like this, there's always going to be bigger gaps. But
some say Rigel's already carrying his ballast, the smugness.
Oh, the smugness, yeah.
It's a huge load to carry around with him.
Yeah. As we see, Evil crossing first position with Rigel in second, Gabsy in third. Well done, Gabsy. Banksy, marvellous, well done. Binnersley in fifth, Rick Binnersley. Audi in sixth, Lazarenko in seventh. I think something seriously happened to Lazarenko from Pro Formula there, because fantastic. Eighth for Charger, ninth for Aaron Staley. Well done, Aaron, welcome. Dave Crew in 10th. I think Dave Crew, this is not a car he likes. Limpan, again, unusual to see him down there, but you only need 1 off. Short race, long track. That's what's going to happen to you. Cos in 12th, the ever wise and steady Cos. In this case, 12th, but don't be surprised to see Cos in the top half of most races, just out of purely long ones, out of pure consistency. And FX, who had a problem there, clearly in last position, 13th. So that concludes, with 3 minutes left for everyone to go over the line, that concludes the 5 races of our Thursday night mini league. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. Speed, have you?
Yeah, it's been a really interesting night. We gave some good facts and waffled on a bit, but there's nothing unusual with us too.
I think that's what commentators are supposed to do. But Zhuhai circuit, then on to Slovakia Ring, then on to Suzuka, Then, of course, we had Nürburgring, and then we finished off with the ever glorious Marmite track of Hungaroring. So great. Thursday night mini league. So, one car, 5 tracks, open, drop in and have one, or come and stay and race with us for as long as you like. That's the beauty of it. So, I think what the number was number 2, wasn't it, Speed?
Yeah, I'm just doing the points now. Just hit customize. It made permanent. So here we go. Top 10. Starting in 10th was Charger with 52 points. In 9th was Rick Binnersley with 54. In 8th was Gabsy with 60. In 7th with 64 was Banksy. In 6th with 71 was Lazarenko. In 5th with 77 was Dave Crew. Tied for 3rd was Evil and Aaron on 80. And the person we get to feature tonight is our Norwegian Audi with 84. And tonight's winner, and the smuggest of the smug, Rigel.
Very well done to Rigel and to everybody, actually. And I take it you'd already incorporated the Joker points there. So those are the final results. Wonderful. You know what? It doesn't actually matter. That's the thing. It doesn't actually matter where anybody came, because the important thing is that they've had fun, they've had some clean racing, and they've enjoyed 5 tracks that the main effort is usually sometimes not to pick tracks that then would normally not race, or cars that they would normally not think about racing. We're going to speak to Audi tonight. Now that's also very interesting.
In 3, 2, 1, here he is.
Audi, very welcome to you. You are our mystery guest tonight, the millionth person to make some shit in the toilet, and you are our special guest tonight. You were nominated. Your number was nominated because you finished in 2nd position, and your number was 2. So very many congratulations to you. I have 2 questions for you, and then I offer you the floor, and Speed will then finish off with a question for you. 2 questions. 1, how did the series go for you tonight as a participant? And 2, talk to us about your thought processes when it comes to putting together these Thursday evening events of which you are the custodian of. So first of all, how was the series for you tonight?
Well, first of all, it was a mixed. First race, I did a blinding race. Second race, I think I punted Evil off, which was not good. Then had to try and had a good race after that, trying to catch up the field, and I managed to pitch Evil off again on Nürburgring, which wasn't optimal. Other than that, it was nice. Had a bit of offs and cuts and good racing. I know there was some incidents in the field. I didn't notice too many of them, but I heard about them, which is not nice. We don't want that happening, especially on a stream.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's racing. You don't stage manage these things. If these things happens, it happens. I did mention it when we saw a couple of people have some incidents, that sometimes that happens.
Yeah, it's never on intent. Sometimes if you know who you're driving with and are used to driving with them, you can anticipate things, and it's a bit easier. But that said, I think it went quite well. Over to how I put these events together. It isn't much to it, actually. I just sit down for 10 minutes and browse through the cars, try to remember what cars we've done before, and try to find some that is, how can I say, not the regular cars you pick for a fun night out, just to try and even out the usage of the cars in the game. Sometimes I choose the tracks to the car I choose first, and then I look at the car and I reconsider it and choose another car and let the track stay. Other times I just find my tracks and find a car.
Yeah, and what give us a flavour of the sort of weirdest car and the weirdest track that we've done before on the Thursday night mini leagues, to give our watchers some sort of idea of the variation of what it is that we do?
Yeah, well, this has been going on since Project Cast 1, so been a few years now. Really don't know what's the weirdest one.
NSU around Silverstone.
Yeah, well, I didn't do that. That was Charger, I think. But I think we done a setup. That was when Project Cast 2 came out, and all the weather system was quite handy. I set up some random weather for all the races, with some snow on Knockhill on. With some
Do you think that's a Race Room is a great sim, and there's some fantastic sims out there, all of which we support. But do you think that's probably the biggest downfall of Race Room is the zero weather sort of interaction?
No, actually not the weather. The day and night cycle is actually the thing I miss the most. Usually, I like racing in weather. I love racing in wet conditions. Not the whole race, but having changeable weather and not knowing what's happening the next 10 minutes is one of the things I love. But I also know that a lot of people hate racing in wet weather, and there is also extremely few sims that manage to do the grip levels and get the feel correctly on a wet surface. And I understand why it's very difficult. It's difficult to get the tire perform correctly on a dry surface. Getting it to perform correctly on a changeable surface like a watered down track is it is really difficult. So, but no, I feel Race Room is the only one thing Race Room is missing is day and night cycle for me, so we can do proper endurance races.
Well, that's very interesting. Thank you very much for that. And I probably don't need to say it, but I'm going to, because sometimes if things aren't said, then well, it's as if it's never been said. But you know what? On behalf of everybody from RWB, thank you for what it is that you do on our Thursday nights and arranging these, because I know there's a little bit more that you do rather than just pull a car out of the hat and pull 5 tracks out of the hat. You very clearly could do it like that, but you advertise it. You make sure people are informed. You make sure that me and my team are informed with what the tracks are and so on. So for that, thank you very much. And
well, thank you again. But that said, the mini league we are lucky with the mini league. It's become so ingrained in our club, so it does all the advertising itself. We tried not having it a Thursday night, and mayhem erupted. So so it's just putting up the event, and I just put out the general message half an hour before we start, and people show up. So it's becoming quite easy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Final question to you, Speed.
Oh, he stole all my questions that I was going to ask.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
So
I'm
going to go with the gentleman rule. Obviously, you said that you run into Evo a few times, and we did see the gentleman thing you did. It's just obviously you reiterate that the fact that you stopped at the side of the track and let Evo pass after you sent him into next week.
Yeah, well, it's becoming an instinct. It's how we work in our club. Do we hit each other or hit someone, and that guy turns off the track, even though it's not your fault, you just assume it might be your fault. So just let him by and start racing again, and you might end up having a brilliant race with that guy you punted off the track, because you got a clear track and you can do proper racing instead of trying to get past back markers and things like that. So sometimes it's fun, sometimes it goes the wrong way. But best thing is that either the guy who's being punted off and the guy punting off, we don't start I'm going to say a fist fight over boys. That's the general rule.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Audi. That was a fantastic series again tonight. Fantastic mini league tonight. I very much look forward to next Thursday. And for anyone else out there, as I said earlier on, don't think about it. Come along and try your hand. You only have to do one race if you want to. Everyone will welcome you with open arms. If you don't want to talk in Discord, that's fine. Just pop in the channel so you can hear what's being said, just in case there's any sort of yellow flag rules or whatever. But Thursday nights, 21:30, and on our RWB race room server, pop in a Discord. You'll get the password and be made welcome. So see you next Thursday. Well, clearly on the mini league, which leads me just to say the final things, which is thanks very much for joining us. Hopefully you'll join us on Saturday with our league event, which is the World Touring Cars 2018 and the GT4s. That'll be very interesting. I'm not going to tell you where the first race is. If you want to find out, pop on a Discord. So he's been Speed.
He's been Tiger.
Oh, I just love that little end bit, don't you? Take care now. Don't race alone. Race RWB. Till next time. Bye-bye.